What is up, guys? This is the Anarchist. Like, subscribe, check out my videos. Today I'm going to go over the new 2015 Megatins that's just come out, and I thought, as with last year, I would do a discussion on are they good value, are they worth getting, and stuff like that. Now, I personally feel that the Megatins are excellent value and good for the game, as hopefully I will explain later on in the video in more depth, of course, but I like the fact that they do a mass reprint set, as this means that even if you want to play a deck that is the top meta in a year's time, it will be cheap, and therefore anybody who just wanted to play the engine, because in a year's time it's usually been hit like artifacts were, and it's all down to whether or not you feel those decks are still worth playing. But it's nice to be able to get some of the high value cards like Dante and stuff like that that are generic as well. So you can either play a high rarity, high value deck that was meta and has now been hit, or a deck that, like Yang Zing's currently, they are high rarity but not the most expensive, and this has made them even cheaper, which is good for the game because that means newer players can just see, oh, I like the principle of Yang Zing's, or I like the look of this deck, and it might be a year old, but you can get it cheaper, and the second-hand market all drops the value of them, while the original print still holds some more value to compare to these. But yeah, going on for the promos. The promos this year are for the Odd Eyes tin, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. I'm not going to say my thoughts on Platinum Secret, as I don't think it looks that bad, but they're right, it is a sticker. It is, some people really dislike it. Elder Entity Norden, or Noden. This is like the main reason to get this tin. Other than that, you should probably go for this one. But Noden is great because it is making a promo was the best thing Konami's done in a long while, because it means it's cheaper and easier to get. If they had made it a prize card, which they very easily could have done, if they had made it a chase card in a Hidden Arsenal type set, the normal person wouldn't see Norden, or wouldn't be able to play Norden. And Norden helps so many decks just because he's generic and makes rank 4s in every deck. So I think it's an excellent play by Konami, and it also pushes the sales of the Odd Eyes tin, which, other than that, the Majesty's Fiend is a nice reprint, but it's one of those things, it will probably see more play in the future, Majesty's Fiend, and secretly be an amazing thing to have in there, because we know Norden, it's going to go because it's just so good. It's going to get banned at some point in the future, but hopefully in a long way off. And Odd Eyes, I like the reprint of Odd Eyes because it is a excellent generic pendulum card that will work with many decks in the future and will probably go up in value in the future when other decks find ways to abuse it, like Klee initially wanted to play the Odd Eyes. For the Dark Rebellion tin, which I also prefer the art of this, you get Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. This is great. Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon is a really underrated card. It's actually quite expensive at the moment, even though this is its third print, because it was put in the Star Pack Arc V it was put in. And I really like the card. It is a beat stick monster, and a lot of decks are missing out on them nowadays, so it's nice to be able to have it in your extra deck. Old Entity, I'm not going to pronounce that. This guy is one that I haven't looked too much into because everybody's focusing on Norden and stuff. This is sort of just the other one, not sort of looked at as much, but it's still a decent card. It could see play in the future if some deck learned how to abuse it and stuff, but we don't know for now. Norden is the better of the two here. I think Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon is better than Odd Eyes as a card because it's a rank 4, so more decks can use it. Norden beats Hastor, and Castel beats Majesty's Fiend. Castel is an amazing one. So instead of what they could have done with the 2014 Megatins, which was make Exciton or 101 a promo, which would have been like amazing, because then everybody would have got hold of them really easily, and extra decks would have taken a steep decline in cost. And Castell is the new best, better. You can't say really best, but it's the most versatile rank 4 that I can think of at this moment. So it is a great choice of them to make it a promo so that everyone can use it. Very pleased for Konami doing this. Now, if we go over to the main list of all the cards in the packs. So, actually, going back a sec, you get 3 cards promos, yeah? Even in like a few weeks' time, when all the prices will have dropped and stuff because thousands and thousands of tins will have been opened. Actually, probably more than that, but a lot of tins will have been opened, and these will hopefully come down real cheap. I still think Norden, just for being a good card, and maybe Castell, will stay above the pound. I'm in the UK, so I will talk in pounds, not dollars. But yeah, I think those two might hold value above it, which is really rare for a promo because they are guaranteed to come with your tin. But something I have noticed, Konami, when they sell the cases, put 6 Odd Ice tins and 4 Dark Rebellion tins. So you end up with 2 playsets of Norden and 4 Castells. Is it that way around? 6 or... Yeah, something like that for the tins. So you actually, there will be less Castells and Dark Rebellion, Xyz Dragons and Old Entity, Hastor and stuff compared to the Nordens, Odd Eyes and Majesty's Fiend, which is just something to keep in mind. It's like they're pushing the Nordens out because they know this tin overall has less good promos, but everybody wants Norden, whereas the Dark Rebellion one, it's not going to be rarer by much, but it is going to be slightly. But going on for the selection of other cards, I'm just going to scroll through these. I'm not going to read these out. But overall, you're paying, what, 12 to 14 pounds per tin, sort of thing, something like that, in that range, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less if you're lucky. But you're paying that sort of thing, and I think the tin is an amazing value because if you think you got the 3 promos, say it's £13, split difference sort of thing. So you've got 3 promos, £1 each. This is like worst case scenario. Hollows tend to sell on eBay, which is where I get all my pricings from for values and stuff. eBay's lowest price cards and stuff are always going to be £1. If you get multiple, then it comes down, but on their own, £1 per card. So you've got £3 in that, so that's taking it down to a tenner. You then get 3 packs that contain 3 hollows, 2 rares, well, 1 rare in each, 3 hollows in each pack, which is, if we just ignore the commons and rares, in the packs and just look at the hollows, that is 3 times 3, so that's 9 hollows. You are getting £12, even if they are like you pull awful, which is slightly unlikely. You will, well, it's not unlikely, but it is possible and stuff. If you pulled like the worst and pulled only stuff that was worth like £1 a piece for all of it, I do like the sanctums there. I do like the artifacts. If you pull only stuff that's worth £1 a piece, you have a total of £12 invested. Almost not guaranteed. You still have to find someone to sell it to, but £12 of value of the worst cards you could pull in the tin thing being worth only £1 each. And chances are you're going to get at least 1 or more good cards in said tin. And the ratio of getting good cards to bad cards will go up the more tins you buy and stuff, of course. But yeah, well, they won't go up, but you're more likely to get a good card if you buy more tins because you'll get more packs and stuff. Yeah, but in buying them, you've got £12 there, so £12 at worst. So you will, at worst, if you paid £13 for your tin, you will lose £1. Now, you're going to have a load of commons and stuff with that, so that's going to take up the last bit. So you are getting your money back almost guaranteed just in value and trade bait or whatever of chucking in random hollows in your binders or selling off random hollows sort of thing. You've got £12, £13 in my mind. It will be different between countries and stuff. And if you pull something good like Deneb as it pops up, or you pull something like some I don't know Chiwen or something that's worth more than £1, you start making on paying for the cards, and it's like you're going to pull at least something decent, even if it's like a Leo or something. Actually, I don't think Leo's in. No, I don't think Leo's in that set. Even if you just pull something that's just better than normal, is worth £1 or £2, or say Norden and Castell, maybe because they're the better reprints of the promos, they might be worth £1.50, £2. You're already getting more than what you've invested at £13 in your tin, sort of thing. So pulling anything good out of that is just a bonus. Of course, this is still random and prices will change and stuff. And the actual finding someone to sell your £1 or £2 cards to will be more of a challenge. But that's the same with everything. You've got to find the right person to sell it to. So I really like these tins. I think they're an excellent idea because it gives all of the decks in here a good run. Admittedly, the later ones in the year have less of a run, but it means that those ones who are less likely to have been hit on the ban list, in this case, they are less likely to be hit because they just aren't as good. But that means that in the next format, in the next meta, any decks that weren't hit here and that can compete with any new decks that will come out and stuff will be cheap enough that a lot of people can play it. So this means that the player base, admittedly, there won't be less variety. As if you're going to play creative, you're going to play creative, but there will be less people complaining that, oh, I can't afford to play meta, so I play some cheap deck, and they always complain about it. I know there are people out there like that. Well, they shouldn't be able to complain because the decks that are maybe tier 2, tier 1.5 are affordable, or even tier 1. If you clear the Duelist Alliance and Necros and stuff, if they're killed completely on the ban list and stuff, you've got Infernoids, Ritual Beasts, you've got Yosenju. Okay, Ritual Beasts and Yosenju aren't in the Mega Tins, but you've got Infernoids, you've got Cliffort, because I don't think they can kill them much more without like fully killing the deck. Beyond like hitting Wavering Eyes and towers and stuff, that's about the only thing they could hit to stop the tower turbo. But like Yang Zing and stuff that is good, but it's not good enough to compete with the current meta. Well, not to compete, but to compete proficiently, that's a better word, with the current meta, means that you can pick them up now when the others get hit and Burning Abyss and everything else is like severely crippled. You and everybody else with those decks will fill in the void with Infernoids. That you will fill in the void and be able to become the new meta until some new broken deck comes out and completely wipes out yours and stuff, and you become tier 2 and everything else. But that's what this Megatins really for. They're not for allowing people to get those super meta decks that were earlier on in the year like completely broken, because as soon as Konami's reprinted them and they've got like a month out of these tins and stop making them and stuff, they are going to kill the decks, like completely should halt them, so that the next load of new amazing Kung Pao Chicken whatever decks and stuff come out, and they become the new meta and they make more money. That's just how Konami markets and is a good way of marketing. But you shouldn't treat it like that. You should either treat it as a way of getting the decks that are not quite good enough yet or will be good next format, and the really cool staples and stuff that I just printed in here. Now, I've lucky enough just reached the bottom. That's about it for me, really. I'm about to run out of time on the record, so the Anarchist Signing out. Tell me what you think in the comments below.